This week, you are going to review Entity Framework Code first and expand a little bit more on what you know about defining relationships between tables or entities. You'll also learn a little bit more about a Fluent API and data annotations and how we can use those two techniques to modify and further define relationships. You will also learn how to use database first. So you're going to want to go through the lecture demo. There are videos in almost every section, and you're going to want to complete the hands-on exercises because that is what you're going to be turning in. For the hands-on, the focus is primarily on defining those relationships between the tables, because that's the part that you don't know as well. We do know how to take the primary key from one table and add it to the related table, but there are two endpoints in the relationship. So what you're going to learn this week is how to add a collection back into that primary table, which is the full end of the relationship. It goes both ways. So you are going to be creating a code first database. I have given you a lot of the class information with the exception of the foreign keys and navigation properties, which is what you are going to be adding. Okay, so as you go through here, this particular exercise, you will be adding data annotations to change the defaults that are there for conventions. And you will also be using some Fluent API because we are going to be building a bridge table, also called a join table, to remove a many-to-many relationship. And that little table is going to have a composite key. So you are going to have to use some Fluent API to define that key. So you'll be walking through and creating this employee project, which you will then upload to GitHub. And then at the very end, you are going to walk through a database first project. So you're going to end up downloading a Visual Studio database project and connecting to that database. And it's kind of a reverse engineer. So you're going to generate the models from the existing database. So you will see how to do that. So there are two projects you are going to be uploading to GitHub and adding links for in the Dropbox. Once you finish with those, if you want to work on your term project some more, I did include all of the requirements for the project and for your project showcase, which will end up being a video. And we've covered everything in here as far as steps 1 through 8. In upcoming weeks, we're going to add in the searching, sorting, and pagination. And then we will talk about that built-in registration system that is part of your MVC project. Finally, you will also be deploying this project. So that will be in the upcoming weeks. So if you want to kind of nail down steps 1 through 8, that might be a good idea so that you could focus on these last couple ones for the end of the semester. In the lecture demo, there's quite a bit of information on link queries that was covered in 195. And for some of you, that was a while ago. So I did include a link back to that material from the 195 class. So you can take a look at this. Hopefully it will refresh your memory. And then for those of you who find link to be a little confusing, here is a link cheat sheet. Okay, so here we've got the query syntax and Lambda syntax. And so if you are at a loss for what this is, make sure you walk through this information from the 195 class, because that is where that information is covered. And so I've included those resources for you to review. If you have any problems or questions, let me know and have an awesome week.